What is going on, fight fans? Hey, I have to jump in on this. A couple of days ago, there was a fight on the zone. I didn't see it on Saturday, but I caught a lot of this back and forth on Sunday. There was a face to face with Claressa Shields and Alycia Baumgardner. They were going back and forth, insulting each other. It's been a little rivalry with these two in the last few months since Baumgardner said that she wanted to fight Shields. And I want to get in here, fight fans, and weigh in on this because it seems that fans of both fighters are kind of split on this fight. There are those who want to see the fight. There are those who think that Claressa is just way too big for Alycia. And there are those who think that even though Baumgardner is small, that she can move up and actually hurt Claressa Shields. There are also some boxing fans who feel like, why would this fight happen? Because there's such a gap in the weight classes. But I want to give some thoughts on why this fight might happen and why this fight may be pushed for. You all have to remember something, that women's boxing is top heavy, which is something I have been saying for years. All of the best fighters are at the top of each division. And once you get past a few top fighters, there is a major drop off. Some of these weight classes, after you get through like the sixth or seventh fighter, the distance between the seventh and eighth fighter is a huge gap. It's not even close. When you would think about top 10 fighters, pretty much if you think about the men's side and you think about the top 10 fighters, the talent gauge is pretty close. But in the women's side, the talent gauge is not very close. So what happens is that a lot of times we have to get these mismatches where women have to go up in weight, sometimes way up in weight, and they have to take on a fighter because they want to get the payday or maybe because some excitement built about it. Some examples would be, even though this would be two weight classes, if you remember the other year when we got Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano, even though she has fought as high as super lightweight, she has mainly over the past few years been fighting as a featherweight, where at the time Katie was pretty much planted as a lightweight. But in order for the fight to happen, Serrano had to come up to lightweight to make that fight happen. A fight in years past that I want to bring up, Layla Ali and Christy Martin, for those of you who remember that fight. Layla Ali had been fighting as a super middleweight. For some reason, they got the idea to put her in there with Christy Martin. Christy Martin had been fighting as a welterweight at the time. And the fight before the Layla Ali fight, she actually fought as a welterweight against Mia St. John, but she came in weighing 143 pounds as a welterweight. So we're talking about a woman coming up two weight classes, the other one coming down one weight class. And if I remember, the agreement was that Layla could come in at 162 because that's what she weighed in at. And Christy came in at 159, and those close to her said that she didn't even weigh that much. If you remember the fight, Christy came in with army fatigues on, and she didn't strip down and weigh in. She kept her fatigues and her boots on, and there was those close to her camp years later who said that she had chains in her pocket. So she probably not probably. She wasn't even 159 pounds. She probably was closer to 152, 150, maybe even 149, but she had to make it look good. These things have happened in boxing, especially in women's sports. So now I'm taking that to Baumgardner and Shields. So the big disagreement is that Shields, who is the reigning middleweight champion, has said that she will come down one weight class to junior middleweight. Baumgardner, who is fighting as a super lightweight, and that's the heaviest that she's ever fought, would be coming up, 4 weight classes to actually have to make this fight happen. Let me make sure I'm right. 35, 40, 47. Yes, she would have to come up 4 weight classes. Now, I don't know what Alycia walks around at, but that seems to be the sticking point. She wants Claressa to come down to welterweight, 147. Claressa wants her to come up to 154. And there are a lot of people saying that, well, if Claressa really wants to fight this little woman that bad, she should come down to welterweight. Well, I'm going to tell you why that's not going to happen. Number one, because Claressa Shields probably cannot make 147 without literally making herself sick and probably passing out on the scales. The reason why this fight is going to happen is going to happen at junior middleweight is because whether you like her or not, Claressa Shields calls the shots in women's boxing. And I'm going to tell you what this reminds me of. Do you all remember years ago when Floyd Mayweather, when he was at super lightweight, he was calling out Oscar De La Hoya? At the time, Oscar was fighting as a junior middleweight, and he kept calling him out, and then he moved up to welterweight, and he called him out. Who was the cash cow at the time, fight fans? Oscar De La Hoya was the golden boy. He was literally the golden boy. What did he say? First, he said he didn't want to fight Mayweather, but then he made it very clear, hey, if the little man wants to fight me, he has to come up to junior middleweight. We're not doing a catch weight. He has to come up to junior middleweight. He can weigh whatever he wants, but the fight has to be a junior middleweight. That's what Claressa Shields is saying right now. If you want to fight me, I make the rules. You have to come to the weight that I want. And listen, I like Alycia Baumgardner as well, but she's not the golden goose. She's not the golden cow of women's boxing. Claressa Shields is. So if she wants to fight Claressa, like she said, she's going to have to come up to 154. And just like Mayweather, she can weigh whatever she wants. Mayweather signed a contract and said, sure, I'll fight you at junior middleweight. But he came in weighing 150 pounds, so he was 4 pounds over. Listen, if Alycia feels comfortable at 147, she can come in at 146, 147, 148, 149. Just know that the fight has to be made at 154, and that's what Claressa is going to come in at. And I can pretty much guarantee you that Claressa is not going to weigh 153 and a half. She's going to be right on the nose at 154. So fight fans, if you really want to see this fight, that's how it's going to happen. Fight fans can stop this back and forth on why doesn't Claressa come down to 147. Remember a couple of years ago, she said she would come down to welterweight to fight Cecilia. But at the time, you got to remember, that was about 4 years ago. Claressa was younger. And like all of us, as we get older, our bodies acclimate to that age. And we get a little thicker and we get a little bit heavier. It is hard to go back down to the weight that we were. It's no different for Claressa. She cannot make 147 anymore. So fight fans, what do you think? Do you think that is ridiculous? Do you think that it's ridiculous that Alycia at 130 pounds, a junior lightweight, is calling out the middleweight champion of the world? Who do you put the blame on? Do you put it on Claressa? Are you saying, why would she want to fight someone that small? Or are you putting it on Baumgardner and saying, why would you call out someone that much bigger than you? Do you want to see the fight, or do you just maybe not want to see the fight because of the weight difference? And if you do want to see the fight, what do you want to see happen? Do you agree with me that Claressa calls the shots and the fight has to happen at junior middleweight? And if Alycia wants to fight, that she's going to have to come up to junior middleweight? All right, fight fans, I just want to get in and get some quick thoughts on this. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. And for those of you who have been following me for years, hey, I appreciate you very much. Give me a like and give me a comment on what you think about this fight. All right, fight fans, that's all for now. I'll let y'all later.